I'm Sir Dinosaur from Planet X, and now it's time for a movie review. This movie has a lot of sand and worms. So there's a planet called Arrakis, and there's a bunch of people on it called the Fremen, but these jerks called the Harkonnens are fighting them and taking their magic spice stuff called melange. There are these really big worms though, and if you try to take the magic spice, they eat you. These other guys called Atreides are from an ocean planet, and the Emperor gave them Arrakis since he didn't like the Harkonnens anymore, I guess. Maybe Baron Harkonnen was rude at the dinner table, or maybe Emperor Shaddam IV thought the Baron floating around is creepy and weird. So the Atreides guy's kid is a guy named Paul. He's being trained as a space witch, even though all the other space witches are ladies called the Bene Gesserit. Maybe they think he's the prophecy guy, or maybe he's not the prophecy guy, but he's probably the prophecy guy since the movie's about him. So the Atreides guys go to Arrakis and get all acquainted with the place, and the main guy complains about sand. Wait, that's a different movie. They meet with this guy named Stilgar, who's the Fremen chief, and Dr. Kynes, who's a planetologist. What's a planetologist? I guess she studies planets. I don't know what that means, but I guess she knows about the environment and stuff. Like, how do these people get food when there's sand everywhere? Anyway, Dr. Kynes takes the Atreides to see the magic spice place, and they get attacked by a worm, and Paul apparently gets some magic spice in his face, and it makes him see the future or something. Suddenly, this guy named Dr. Yue, who is the medical guy for the Atreides, betrays them and lets the Harkonnens in, along with some sneaky bad guys who work for the Emperor. Dr. Yue is like, hey, I betrayed the good guys. Can you let my wife go? And the Baron is all like, I killed her already. Duh, idiot. And the Atreides guy has a secret poison thing in his mouth, so he bites it and gas goes everywhere and kills all the bad guys. Except the Baron, because he can float around. Paul escapes with his mom, Jessica, who is not the Atreides guy's wife technically, but is basically his wife, so it's whatever. This guy named Duncan sacrifices himself so they can get away. Paul and Jessica run around in the desert, and Paul does better with his space witch powers, but also with his scary visions. Paul and Jessica run away from a worm and find the Fremen. One of the Fremen guys challenges Paul to a duel, which is supposed to be like impossible to win, but Paul uses his vision powers to predict the Fremen guy's moves, and he wins the duel by cheating. Paul killed one of the Fremen guys, so of course the other Fremen people are like, cool, let's hang out. Also, there's this girl there named Chani, and Paul is all like, hey girl, and Chani is all like, you're dumb. So they're probably going to smooch in the next movie. This movie has a lot of murder and creepy stuff, and the main guy mind controls people with his space witch powers, so this movie is not for kids.